What's up, YouTube? So, in this video, I wanted to scout the Buffalo Bills offense. I was already going to watch film on them for before our game against them on Thursday. So I figured I may as well record it, make this a film session, so why not? We will be looking at some kickoff stuff, too. So yeah, obviously Josh Allen, that's where it starts. We know what he is. Big arm, super athlete. We get it. James Cook, another really solid running back. Really good at the running and receiving game. Khalil Shakir, I mean, their receiving core is nothing crazy. Also, Ray Davis, I actually really like. Ty Johnson's also solid as hell, but they didn't really get a lot of carries in their first game. So we'll see if that changes or if they're just going to keep giving it to Cook. They were playing from behind, which probably didn't help their running game. But the receiving core is nothing crazy, but they do have some interesting pieces. Khalil Shakir is a pretty decent deep threat. He's pretty speedy, can do some gadget stuff. Keon Coleman is their rookie receiver, good contested catch guy. Matt Collins, another contested catch guy. Curtis Samuel's kind of a do-it-all type of player. Valdez Scanling's kind of more of a deep threat that honestly has a hard time catching the football. He's 86, right? Yes. Okay. Obviously, a good pair of tight ends, though, in Dalton Kincaid, which is mostly receiving tight end, is getting better at blocking. And then Dawson Knox, who's kind of more of your traditional, well-balanced tight end. So, yeah, let's get into it. The special team stuff is going to be more important when I look at their defense. Basically seeing if they're going to be kicking into the end zone or not. This is pretty well blocked, though. Really good return. Gonna need to make sure we wrap that shit up. Can't be letting them do that. Alright. So I kind of figured they'd be doing a lot of two tight end sets. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid are both better than any of the receivers they've got. So that makes sense. And then, you know, with the running back room that they have, I wouldn't be surprised they are a more run-heavy team this year. All right. Pretty good run there. Well blocked. I'm not going to have a whole lot to say on every play. So, Keon Coleman's number 0. Okay, another two tight end set. And run the ball again. Arizona responded much better that time. This time, I don't see Kincaid. So they keep Dawson Knox out there. They bring in an extra receiver. Put Khalil Shakir in motion. That makes sense. He's a pretty good gadget guy. Get it to Matt Collins. Arizona showing him cover 3. Sits right there in the gap. That makes sense. We got Kincaid. Is that Knox? No, it's not. We took Knox off the field and Kincaid is in. Okay. Bro. If Tua would have done this, people would have been flaming him. I mean, at first the linebacker's in the way, but what the hell? He looks right at him. I mean, eventually this guy comes over. What the hell? Is he king? All right, man. I'm also interested to see what the difference was, like why they were getting their ass kicked so bad, and then why the comeback happened, like what they did differently. So far I've seen a lot of two tight end sets, but also mixing in some other things. That makes sense, by the way. Them kicking into the end zone after the big kickoff return last time. So we've got a fullback and a tight end. I can't tell if that's Dawson Knox or Dalton Kincaid. Get him in motion. Just got to draw a penalty. You're in press man. They don't really have like a man coverage beater receiver. He got held like a motherfucker though. I ain't gonna hold you. Two tight end set. Get a guy in motion. Yeah, we're going to have to make sure we're plugging the run. I do not want to let James Cook get going. Another two tight end set. Doing a lot of them. He's under center a lot more in this year so far, it seems. Josh Allen, for the most part, has been in shotgun a lot throughout his career. They're doing a lot more motion stuff this year. Get Mac Hollins in motion. Yeah. Their tight ends are the biggest threats playmaker-wise. And James Cook can absolutely make some moves. And Khalil Shakir just speed-wise. I mean, they do have weapons, for sure. And, of course, we're going to have to keep Josh Allen's running to a minimum. Good run there. Another two tight end set. It's interesting though, when they do a two tight end set with Kincaid, he's usually out at receiver, then they motion him over. He's having better effort as a blocker. I mean, effort wasn't ever the concern. Like, it was more just technique as far as his blocking skills go. Curtis Samuel's wearing 1. Okay. I was wondering who that was. Mac Hollins gets a lot of playtime, huh? But it makes sense. They're a run-heavy offense. I mean, it makes sense to put in Mac Hollins. He's a good blocking receiver. A lot of motion. Yeah, red zone. Absolutely. Definitely get Josh Allen moving. Was that a penalty? It was. So they end up giving up a sack, and they only end up getting a field goal out of this, huh? He kind of ran into that one. I wasn't really... I mean, technically it's a sack, but... I guess we can watch this. Yeah, whatever. Field goals I'm not really too keen on watching. Kicking into the end zone again, that makes sense. Again, after that big kick return, you don't want him to return it. I wouldn't mind us doing something similar. Motioning offensive lineman. Interesting. So I added an extra lineman. Looks like they didn't do it right. But that's interesting to note. Oh, they do it again. Three. That makes sense. That makes sense. I'll start. Was that scrambling necessary? I mean, it looks good on the highlight reel. But you could have just thrown this. Also, pocket was fine. Just step up. You didn't have to do all that. All you had to do was step up into the pocket. I know we're not here to evaluate Josh Allen, but I'm just saying. You get Kincaid in motion. I mean, this time, yeah, everyone's locked up pretty well. Makes sense to scramble. They don't seem to be handling gap exchanges super well. Could be something to exploit. Holding the ball like a motherfucker. You can sack this dude. Interesting play call here. I mean, they're showing cover 2 or cover 4. Ends up kind of being more of a 3. But everybody's running deep. There's nothing underneath for them. And when I say interesting, I mean whack. Alright. Not the greatest there. I mean, yeah, the crossing route's fine, but he could have gotten him sooner. Could have let him up a little bit, too. That looked like a designed run. Which, I mean, fair enough, man. Doing motion just for the sake of it, huh? Yeah. Yep. In the red zone, Josh Allen running is a very likely thing. We know this. Take a look. Kicked it short, huh? So you should be getting it at the 40. Yep. That was a fuck up. They're running the ball actually pretty well. Better when they're doing their 2 tight end sets. I don't hate that. Kid James Cook the ball in open space and see what happens. I don't hate that. Get Curtis Samuel in motion. it feels like a lot of times the guys that are motioning are kind of going away from the play, which, I mean, I get that to an extent, because, you know, it does draw the defense over that direction rather than where you're trying to go. So at times I understand that, but I don't know. Sometimes I kind of, whoa. How the fuck did that happen? Good reaction from Josh Allen. This right guard. Sorry. So miscommunications on blocking assignments. That's what I'm saying. Another 2 tight end set, this time between Quentin Morris and Dalton Kincaid. Get Curtis Samuel in motion. That got blown up. This right guard can't handle speed. Like at all. I wonder if we put, I don't know how healthy Jalen Phillips is going to be, but if we put Jalen Phillips there, put him in B-gap and see if he can smoke him. I mean, Zach Sealer's not slow either, but... I do think that's something we can take advantage of. Is that Osiris Torrance? Is that who's starting at right guard? Yep. Yeah, we can beat his ass. Osiris Torrance is awful. Why do you take so long to find him? Like, this is man coverage. Dalton Kincaid is taking this guy away. Keon Coleman's taking him away. The single high is all the way up here. You should already know that your running back is going to be open. I mean, the linebackers are all dropping back. Like, the ball should be damn near out already. Like, he has to stop. Kincaid in motion. 2 tight end set. Dawson Knox was over there. Kincaid's gotten better as a blocker. For sure. He was never like a low effort blocker. It was just more of a... Not... Actually, no, that wasn't that great. Never mind. Ray Davis is a baller, though. He just only got 3 carries. I liked him in college a lot. 2 tight end set. Quentin Morris and Dalton Kincaid. They got a trio of tight ends. Quentin Morris is actually alright, too. What happened here? Yeah, their offensive line's not looking too crazy. I mean, they've had some good run blocks here and there for sure. But we can bully Osiris Torrance. Yeah, man. Look at Torrance. Yep. Let's throw some blitzes and gap exchanges right at his ass. Especially in passing down situations. You know, In our game against Jacksonville, we blitzed Javon Holland a few times, and we put him on the edge. I wouldn't mind putting Javon Holland, like, right here. Like, right through B-gap. Don't line him up on the line, but, like, as a disguised blitz. Make it look like he's in the box. Because he does come down as a box safety. Takes a while to get to his checkdowns. This is cover 2 man. Once again, this is cover 2 man, so he's going to be taking the corner away. The second this guy turns his back to the play, you should already know you're going to your running back. Well, I mean, he kind of does. Okay. Never mind. I'm being mean. Is that Knox? It was. He was in motion. Didn't really get to set his feet. Gotcha, gotcha. That could have been a big play. Also, this is quarters. Dawson Knox would have been pretty good there. Could have gotten some serious yak. We can watch the punt. Why the fuck not? Wouldn't mind getting some success there. Hopefully Malik Washington is healthy. That would be nice. If not, maybe Braxton Berrios can get some decent returns on them. 2 tight end set. Went right past Osiris Torrance. I'm telling you, we can throw some speed right at him. Go right through that A gap, right through the B gap. Doesn't matter. We can go right between McGovern and Torrance. Go right through that A gap. Or the B gap toward the tackle. Doesn't matter. It looks like it's working better going through A gap, though. We just got to contain Josh Allen when we do it. Make sure he can't scramble out. That's what he's going to want to do. Can blitz David Long or something up the middle, too. They put Dawson Knox? Yeah, interesting. Kincaid. Little QB sneak. Straight out of Philly. Khalil Shakir is a shifty little bastard, though. Can definitely do some gadget stuff with him. Can do some Yeah, he's solid deep threat. Got what, 3 drives basically. I'm not gonna watch the kneel. Yeah, just kicking into the end zone. Sign him off at the 30. We might want to do the same. Other 2 tight end set, even when they were down, huh? Going into the 4th quarter. His pre-snap reads could still use some work. And I am nitpicking him, for sure. But he's also supposed to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And he is. But most of it's off physical ability. Hand in the air. And I'm not expecting this to be an easy game by any means. I expect them to give us a fight for our lives, especially because we're not exactly the healthiest right now. And obviously they've gotten the better of us more often than not. But we just got to play our brand of football. Shakir can be a bit of an issue. That offense, we're going to have to contain him. It's easier said than done, obviously. But I want to stop his scrambling as much as possible. And swarm into the ball like that. Like, I want to stop James Cook. Yeah, Keon Coleman will do that. He is a good contested catch guy for sure. That wasn't great ball placement. Yeah, just run. Yep, that makes sense. I didn't realize he had 2 rushing touchdowns. He did. Yeah. Ever since that big kick return, they ain't fuck with it. They were just letting him start at the 30. I think we're going to see a lot of that. Not just with the Bills, but just in general. Yeah, that's hard. That's hard as hell to stop. It really is. James Cook is so good. Got to get pressure on him, too. You can't just let him pick apart your zones. I want, especially if he's healthier, I want Ramsey following Keon Coleman. Oh, I don't know. Like, is he really their number one? I don't know if they really have one. That was low. I get it, though, because you were wanting to make sure it wasn't a pick. But, I mean, yeah, that's a running back. You kind of got to help him out a little bit. Tight end and a fullback. They tend to give it to James Cook a lot when they're under center. If they're going to run it with James Cook, they are usually under center, and then they go in the shotgun to pass it. Makes them a little bit easier to predict. I mean, it's understandable because it's more efficient to run the ball in these sets, obviously. But because even if you know what they're going to do, if you can't stop it, it doesn't matter. I mean, the 49ers defense lives off that philosophy. You know exactly what they're going to do. They don't disguise a damn thing. Yeah, you're going to have to do that a lot. They're going to mix in those read options. I mean, ultimately, we know the Bills pretty well. And I'm not going to watch the Neil. This isn't, one of the teams where I'm really going to have to watch, like, a ton of film. I mean, we pretty much know what to expect. But I just kind of wanted to see some of the scheme changes. They are definitely doing more two tight end sets, which makes sense, of course. Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. That makes sense. They're their best receiving options, in my opinion, with James Cook. But, I mean, they do have some interesting receivers. Like I said, Khalil Shakir is a good gadget guy, good speed guy. Keon Coleman, fantastic rookie, contested catch guy. Matt Collins, pretty good at that, too. So, yeah. They got a lot more motion now as well. But I do think that the interior, especially Connor McGovern and Osiris Torrance, I think that's an area that we can probably attack. Especially Osiris. He doesn't handle the gap exchanges very well. Doesn't handle speed very well. So I think that's something we can try to exploit. But when we do that, we're going to have to make sure that we are containing Josh Allen and not allowing him to scramble out. Javon Holland actually works as a pretty good QB spy for Josh. That might not be a bad idea either. Just kind of let Jordan Poyer be our single high a lot, and then just let Javon Holland kind of be the QB spy. You could reverse that a little bit too. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, I would appreciate you hitting that like button. Have any questions or comments in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.